Alrighty, good evening, everybody. It is late on the East Coast, but we are going to start up with a cast between Reborn Knights Red and Arrogant Nephalem in Division B West. Not quite as late for them. I'll be your host this evening, casting the game. My name is Arrow. Thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started. I believe both teams are all set and ready to go. They were waiting on me to get here. So let me just get that confirmation. And just a quick overview here of the maps that we've got. And it looks like they are ready. Start it up. Quick overview of the maps. Cursed Hollow was banned out by Arrogant Nephalem. BOE by Reborn Knights Red. And we are going to be going to Infernal Shrines. And this pick was by Reborn Knights Red. I'm going to call them Reborn Knights tonight. Or maybe even just Reborn. I think we'll go with Reborn. That'll work. Let's go to this draft here. All right. First ban of the night going over to the Ana. Not a big surprise. Now, for those of you that weren't paying attention today, there was a bit of a balance patch today. They said it was a big patch. It wasn't. A lot of little improvements, adjustments here and there. So, mostly mana tuning with a few extra adjustments to some talents. We'll see if that really affects any, bans and picks here. Ana wasn't really significantly changed, other than to make some improvements to some of her non-grenade talents, including one that seems rather sick, which is a piercing sleep dart that'll hit absolutely everybody. So I would like to see some setup with that at some point, but not in this game. John and Diablo, the next couple of bans, tank jokes kind of seems to be the meta these days, making sure that the enemy team doesn't get the tanks that they're familiar with, or that the tanks can just provide so much value, whether it's in a Nubrak with the Cocoon, which did go up a little bit on its timer, or the Diablo APOC, and with his Shadow Charge, he can just be a menace to the enemy team. And Johanna as well, she's just a brick wall to get past. No surprise that the first pick is a Nubrak. I was kind of surprised that he made it through the draft, but that does work out for Arrogant Nephalem here. Let's get on the dashboard so I can see people chatting. Get all of these things in the right places. All right. And the ETC and Tychus. Tychus with that tank shredding damage. And the ETC brings some Mosh. Kael'thas and Maiev, I gotta tell you, that's a combo that I find just sick here. That is a brutal combo to have on Infernal Shrines. The Kael'thas can really get living bomb value out of the minions on the points. Stukov being banned out, or much the same as what I was just about to say, and that provides significant damage in a zone area. And the Maiev being able to cleave off the minions as well and grab tethers can really, everybody's so tightly packed together that you'll find yourself getting just snagged really quickly. Let's see, and Kael'thas is on Kime. There we go. So, but Tychus with his Odin can get pretty significant value on these points. ETC, one of the squishier tanks just in general, but that not that badly. He's got armor from every ability that he uses, and he can talent into some other things. Deckard Payne with the update today is potentially going to see some more play. There we go, play. As his potions were picked up and are now of greater value. And of course there's Alarak. Alarak is another one of those monster heroes that you never want to play against, with his repositioning, silences, all of that. And Imperius and Morales. So Morales not a hero you see very often. These guys just ripping through this draft. Rexar, I got Tenant and Imperius. Update that. Alrighty, so the Morales is going to provide a little bit of protection. There's no significant dive on the side of Reborn Knights, so Morales is probably relatively safe, unless of course Alarak takes that charge talent. I'm a people chatting. Welcome, Senor Coyote. Uh, so we'll see. The Morales is probably relatively safe in this. ETC is going to have, I'm sorry, not ETC. Kael'thas is going to have the opportunity to throw that living bomb on Misha. So Danebo is going to need to really be mindful of the positioning of his bear. The Imperius gets significant damage and provides potential Mosh interrupt, but it's pretty far away. There really is a lot of potential Mosh interrupts. You got the Morales grenade, the Kael'thas gravity lapse, just a Nubrak existing. So I mean, we'll see if they take Mosh. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. We'll find out in about 10 levels. Alrighty then. So on the left side, we have Reborn Knights Red. I'm not going to say these are Ks all over the place. We have Rise on the Tychus. Stock is on the Deckard Pain on the Pain skin. Ninja is on the ETC. Stamo is what I'm going to call him. Stamop? We'll call him Stamop. Alarak and Danebo on the Rexar. And on the right, we've got Arrogant Nephalem. Cavel at Rest is going to play our Imperius. Munkus on the Maiev. Saris is on the Lieutenant Morales. Kaim is on the Kael'thas. And Segatai on a Nubrak. Imperius is going to go ahead and start off in that top lane, working on that soak as soon as possible, as the rest of the teams are going to come into the middle. And at the beginning here, we don't have a whole lot of stacking talents other than specifically for Maya getting on that cleave. And Alarak going into the lightning. Not a big surprise. He's going to pull two members in. ETC's going to power slide in. The Maiev will get the chain onto several and escape out. And she does get two already on her multiple stacks there. So that's a good start. If I remember right, that's all of 10 that has to take place for her to get that. Yep, 10 tethers. And as expected, Rexar versus Imperius, or should I say Misha versus Imperius. That should be an interesting matchup to see. And we've got our full rotation on behalf of Arrogant Nephalem, pushing forward a little bit here on the with the AoE value that they have, a little bit more wave clear than Reborn Knights. So we'll see just how much value they can get. They are going to pick up this camp because of that value, and each of those tanks is going to anchor for their team in the middle here. Up in the top lane, Imperius getting a little bit of damage and stunned out of it, so he's got to back away here. Imperius did also get a bit of a nerf on his E talent, his armor talent. That cost went up a little bit more, so he's going to have to be a little bit more mindful of his mana in that fight. Maiev diving in, but she's not quite going to catch up to Tychus, and ETC coming up to return to his group and just walk over the bug. Not much of a squish out of that power slide. Alarak in the bot lane getting his soak value, as Arrogant Nephalem will come down, but he'll be safe enough that he doesn't have to worry about any of the Nephalem coming and ganking him. Check up top here and see how these guys are doing. So bot camp taken for Arrogant Nephalem. So far they're ahead on this macro play, keeping the camps going on. Not much of a difference in the XP, as we get a pause because Kael'thas is offline. Nephil people. Alrighty, so let's take a look at some talents while we've got a moment. So we've got the pin down coming out of Maiev, so looking for additional stacks. I wonder if they made me referee. That might mean that I get the opportunity to unpause. We do see the bigger they are to help chunk down that Anubarak and Imperius. That's going to be very helpful in securing kills, letting Alarak finish the job, or even possibly Misha with her big damage. The knockback from the ETC will be increased. Probably my favorite talent there. And Hunter-Gatherer, big armor value for Rexxar, especially when dealing with this solo lane, makes it a little bit harder for that Imperius to get value. Shielding potions, and of course Sapphire out of Deckard Cain, giving him the opportunity to slow things down. Keep us posted. Alarak so far with one of the quest portions done. And starting up, interestingly enough, apparently the Lightning Surge can stack up to 65,535 times. I didn't know that. I'd like to see that one day. And we've got the auto attack build coming out of Morales. Burrow Charge with the Nerubian armor. Slight little variance there. Building into the Burrow Charge instead of the W at level 4. We have very interesting conversation going on about the Tampa Bay Lightning while waiting for Kael'thas to reconnect. And let's see, what do we have coming up here? We've got a Frozen Punisher coming up. As a reminder, down here in the bot lane, this Khazar camp was just taken, so that's going to give the Arrogant Nephalem a little bit of an advantage getting up here to the mid Punisher. All right. Please let me know when your team is ready. I think I have to turn this on. See if we can get a ready out of both teams. Looks like we are good. Okay. Starting up in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So let's see, where's this Kael'thas over here? Let's keep an eye on him. Now, Reborn electing to come get on their camp as Alarak will finish the job on these. The mid camp, of course, going to be just below this shrine, so very, well, I shouldn't say very, relatively easy for them to clear on the shrine while they're also getting skeletal defenders, especially if the team fight goes in their favor. Arrogant Nephalem looking to potentially go in aggressively on their camp, or maybe even just checking to make sure that they weren't there. But once they saw that they'd gotten that mid camp, they went ahead and pulled back and got started. And got a hefty lead, 15 points. Phantom Knife reset going out. A 3-man Discord Strike as a Power Slide goes in as well, and down goes Kael'thas for first blood. A big root goes out and hits 4 members. They do back out now, as their primary source of damage is sitting in the graveyard for the next 10 seconds. So that was a very well played Alarak Telekinesis Discord Strike, and then the follow-up by ETC Ninja getting that Power Slide on all of those people. And Maya trying to get a little bit of poke, just getting some of these defenders down, and they're gonna be pretty far behind. I don't know that they can make this up at this point, and it looks like they probably aren't even gonna bother trying because they're so far ahead and Imperius in that top lane. Rexxar's gonna go ahead and head back up to deal with that Rexxar, the Imperius push, and we do see Arrogant Nephalem posturing behind the wall, waiting for this Punisher to get close enough so that they can bounce it over the wall. And it does land on Anubarak. The stun, the Discord Strike pulls him in, gets him silenced. The root onto Anubarak and Kael'thas, but no follow-up because there's still a wall going, and that Punisher's not ready to jump yet. This is a frozen Punisher, so it is going to root occasionally. Generally speaking, you can get out. It will stun the bug again, and they will get a full wall out of it. No real damage on the fort, just a little bit. But it's a place to start. And these early Punishers don't do a ton of damage, so that's about all you can generally expect if you're playing against an organized team. And Arrogant Nephalem once again grabbing their camp, keeping that pressure up. This bot camp's up in 15 seconds. We'll see if they manage to get down there. 7 has arrived. We see another burrow talent coming out from the bug. And they're calling danger in the middle there. Looks like Anubarak was Shark and trying to get in. He's going to miss the Alarak as he will telekinesis himself away. And it looks like they are going to go ahead and come down here for this bot camp. Yeah, there are 4 members of Arrogant Nephalem here. And Reborn just coming down to remind them they're nearby. They will complete that camp in time before there's any real pressure there. Of important note, Tychus getting the stun talent. So Relentless Soldier, whenever he gets stunned, he's given 25 armor. That's going to be really helpful against this team, considering the number of stuns that you have coming out of Anubarak and Imperius and Kael'thas. Rexar going to go ahead and grab his camp. ETC right in the middle of a whole bunch of red there, but he's just going to power slide over that bug. Almost a problem. They're wanting to deal with him. They want to take him out. He's completely by himself here. But they didn't get any of those CCs out. They are pinging a retreat, as they will get that camp invade. Up in the top lane, we've got Rexar coming down to the middle. Looks like he wants to get an engage on somebody. The Kael'thas is deep in. He's going to get Discordant Strike, and he's going to go down. Deckard Cain is going to get the root off onto Anubarak. But once again, they already got what they needed, which was really that Kael'thas kill. Kael'thas going into the Living Bomb build at 7 there. And in some ways, that'll get some value out of those, especially the shrines, because they're so tightly packed together. I mentioned it earlier, where you get a Living Bomb on a Skeletal Defender, it dies and it spreads it to anybody nearby. So if he can time those right, that'll be a pretty significant value and damage increase for him. Real quick review here. Oh, nope, we'll come back to that. Reborn coming in with the Mosh Pit on the Maiev, but gets almost instantly interrupted. ETC gets pulled back from Maiev as the Counter-Strike comes out of Alarak, gets some damage. Tychus is in the web. He's going to come out of it now as Alarak gets pulled in and destroyed. And Tychus getting just barely away with the Living Bomb on him. Misha's going to be sacrificed to keep the rest of her team alive. And there she goes. Little bit aggressive on that camp invade with as much CC potential as this team has. So, as I was talking about, we have some talents. We do have the Cocoon for the Anubarak. Maiev took Warden's Cage, Stim Drone out of the Morales. Phoenix coming up for the Kael'thas, and the Angelic Armaments for Imperius. And then for Reborn, we've got the Odin for Tychus, the Mosh Pit, as we just saw, coming out of ETC. Unleash the Boars, there we go. I knew it was Boars. For Rexar, Stay a While and Listen for Deckard, and Counter-Strike again for the Alarak. Here comes the Odin. They're going to go in on this now. 25-1, so they've got a heavy lead. Kael'thas is going to get chunked down. Alarak is not quite going to finish that job. Imperius is going to dive in, get pulled down quite a bit. They're starting to back out as the Anubarak wants to keep going in, not maybe getting the message from the rest of his team that they're willing to back out for just a moment and reset this. Misha goes down, so that's some significant counter pressure on behalf of Reborn that they've just lost. They only need 4 more. They'll probably get this, as Reborn is going to go ahead and back out. And this is an Arcane Punisher. The Cocoon goes out on the Alarak. He's down to half, has a bomb on him, but he is going to be able to get away from that. He's going to walk away through the bottom there. Arcane Punisher jumps onto the Misha in front of the gate. And Misha will survive, question mark, for a moment at least, until she gets hit by another laser. Bombs on these structures. Unfortunately, that initial leap is causing a lot of problems. That Punisher's still at half health now. The Warden's Cage goes out, catches the Alarak. Alarak's going to go unstoppable. The Stay a While hitting 3, I think, members, and getting a kill onto the Alarak thanks to that Punisher. And the Stim Drone going out on Anubarak gets the stun on ETC, but gets knocked away. So they're not going to be able to secure that kill, but they are going to get this fort. And there goes the Punisher. Alarak will be back on the map in 10 seconds. Because they have this time, they are going to come down here and get this aggressive camp. Cavel's already started this for them. Rexar in the mid lane trying to get Misha back on her plate. ETC is scouting this out, and they're going to rotate on to the bottom. They're going to try to get this circuit going. Circuit of camps on Infernal Shrines. And they will get that bottom camp as well. So moving on to the next camp, grabbing this soak in the bot lane for just the brief moment that they have all 5 of their members here. They can clearly see Tychus in the middle, so they know they're safe from him, and now they'll be able to see Rexar in the top lane as well. So they know this is a 5 versus 3. They want to get whatever value they can out of this bot camp. And here comes Tychus. And we'll see if Reborn does anything about this, if they want to push into this, knowing that they're down a member, and just use the value of having a wall. ETC knocks the team back away from them. Maiev gets pulled in and silenced, but she will use her leap to get away. And Alarak's got the bomb. He's passing it over to Tychus. Maev's looking for the pull on ETC, but he says, nah, I'm coming with you. And he's going to get the mosh pit on 3, but he's going to get interrupted and cocooned. The dive in on Alarak, and he's going to go down as the stay wall comes out, hits everybody on Arrogant Nephalem, pulls all of them back in with the Warden's Cage. ETC's got a living bomb, so he's got to stay away from people, as does Misha, but she's probably going to go down here. Imperius and Maiev chasing down that ETC, but the root will prevent them from continuing that follow-up. Phew! No Reaver Bomb my end, I don't think so. That is strange. Let me know if there's anything else. Make sure you not target, but at me or whatever the term is for Twitch. I don't know what the deal is, but that way I can see the chat. Otherwise, a lot of the chat will be noticed after the game. And Reborn gonna go ahead and get their camp here, the aggressive camp. It'll be interesting to see if Arrogant Nephalem catch this. They are coming down. They're just a little bit before this gets caught by ETC. They're trying to pull ETC off, but he is going to get it. And looks like Maev's pretty low from that now. Misha passing the... well, she didn't pass the bomb. She got the bomb, and then she took a bunch of damage. And now Arrogant Nephalem is going to go ahead and clear up this camp as the Mortar Punisher Shrine is now active. Alrighty then. Where to fret? So is it just night that's having it here? Yeah, it looks like it's just night. So Arrogant Nephalem's gonna go ahead and grab their Shaman camp. Pretty significant value out of these Shaman camp. They're not too far behind, and they can take these Skeleton Defenders very quickly. So just being 10 behind, they're probably still okay. ETC's gonna get caught by the chain from Maiev. She's gonna get stunned though, as he's gonna get caught by Imperius, and there he goes. He's out of this game. Misha's very low, but they don't care about Misha. They want to get these points. Alarak's gonna go ahead and head up and clear out the lane and probably work on that camp. As the Nephalem are going to finish up this point. They should easily be able to get that 40 before Mosh. I'm sorry, before ETC, the guy with Mosh, happens to respawn on the map. Mortar Punisher, generally the weakest of the Punishers, doesn't quite have the same lockdown as the Frost or the significant damage as the Arcane. The Alarak, being quite out of position, tries to get a Discord Strike, gets pulled back into the Warden's Cage, bouncing all over the place as ETC's going to spread that living bomb, and Alarak's going to get stunned and punished by that Punisher. And you can see just how much value, and now the Ignite coming out from the Kael'thas. That Ignite giving a free living bomb with any of the Flame Strikes. Here comes Maiev pulling ETC as he gets stunned by the Punisher, and there goes another bomb onto ETC. He's passing it over to Misha, and this Punisher will get the full wall down and a little bit of that first keep. So well done. That was quite the push. In the bot lane here, we did have this Khazar camp that got this tower down. Part of the value of getting these camps when the Punisher's going is you have to make a choice. Either either you send somebody back to deal with that camp, or you get that full 5-man push. And of course they elected for that 5-man push. which gave them that keep wall. And I think that's a worth trade. You trade a little bit of wall for a fort, or the wall for the keep. Imperius is going to dive in on ETC. Not a lot of wave at that point, so it's kind of dangerous to do so. But he didn't get punished for it. Mayev's going to get pulled in, but she's going to vault away from that. And ETC is trying to find a safe space with that living bomb to make sure that he doesn't spread it. Here we go. 5 versus 5. Both teams are now 16. We have Arrogant Nephalem with their camp up, and of course this mid camp is going to cause some pressure, so they've got to go back and clear that. And we do see a little bit different build coming out of the Rexar, of course. Now with this nerf today to the Misha talent, taking the Bird of Prey for the wave clear. So this top Bruiser Fallen Shaman camp is available now, and it'll be interesting to see if the Nephalem go there. I'm not really sure entirely why everybody's down here. They have to know. That's the only thing on the map. Of course they're going to go for it. So they're coming up here to the mid lane to clear this out. What I'd like to see is Rexar sending Misha into that bush. There you go. Make sure you scout that out. Send the bear. She doesn't mind. Hopefully nobody from PETA's on the Twitch tonight. And the Shaman camp will get taken by Nephalem. They're going to get this wall started. So that first tower is already down. There goes the wall itself. Gravity lapse on ETC, but no real follow-up. So wall and part of a tower, pretty decent value out of that aggressive camp. So Imperius posting up for his team to make sure that this walkway is completely blocked. Anubrak's going to get stunned, but he's going to be able to burrow out. Gets a big stun onto 4 of the different members of the Reborn. Misha's coming in with the living bomb also on Rexar, being passed over to Deckard Payne. Here comes the ETC Mosh as he gets webbed instantly out of it. That's going away. The Stay a While hits almost everybody, and now Morales as well. And down goes Kael'thas thanks to that Counter-Strike. Here comes the Odin. They're not done with this fight. The Warden's Cage coming in. The dive from Anubrak hitting 2.5 members of Reborn as Alarak will now die, followed by the Rexar. Imperius gets the charge onto Tychus, activating that full 25 armor. And Tychus is going to go ahead and jump away from this mess behind him. They don't have their Kael'thas, but Maiev can still be an absolute terror with the Fan of Knife resets, as they will now move up after getting that camp and winning that fight to start work on this top shrine. And this, of course, being a frozen Punisher now with those big roots into a team that already has a significant amount of CC. A lot of stuns, boops out of Morales. They've been 100% on top of that Mosh and making sure that ETC gets no value out of those AoE stuns. It's only risky if you die. I don't think that's the right way to say that, but I get where you're going with that. So 20 coming up. Okay. 20 coming up for Arrogant Nephalem, as we will see the rewind for the Anubrak. I don't even know which talent that is for Maiev. Shadow Strike for Maiev. The upgraded Stim Drone and the Flamethrower out of Kael'thas, giving him that extra range. Let me cancel that. That's what I wanted. And the Punisher's going to go ahead and jump in. And then, of course, the upgraded Angelic Armaments, giving more shields and more damage to his team. Odin is popped as the Punisher will stomp on ETC and Misha. Going to town on the self-healing bear. And that Punisher is still very healthy. It's sitting at about half health still as it's going in on the core. The Odin going to town on it. ETC is going to get stunned by the Punisher. Alarak's going to get caught by that cleave, but he's just going to Counter-Strike out of it. ETC gets put in a cocoon again as Misha gets destroyed here with the living bomb. The Deckard Payne silence does save him for a moment, and the ETC once again does get that mosh, but he gets almost instantly stunned out of it. Punisher is almost dead, so they at least managed to pull that off, but they're down one member. They're down level 20. And they lost Tychus off screen. Sorry about that. ETC's going to get pulled in with the Warden's Cage. This should be the game, unless they can pull off some really intense CC here, as the Misha does get the two-man stun onto Imperius and the Maiev. She's going to pull that bear back. Imperius is going to get stunned by ETC. 36%. They're very close. Here comes the root onto Maiev and Kael'thas. 15%. Kael'thas is almost dead. He will go down just as the core drops in the first game, going over to the arrogant Nephalem. Holy smokes. That is not what you expect out of the first game on the map that you select as Reborn. And coming in, just as a reminder, as let's go to standings here real quick. Reborn being the number 2 seed in Div B West right now, and arrogant Nephalem sitting at the 8th seed. That was a very dominant game 1 coming out of arrogant Nephalem. So we'll see how this second game compares. Let's go ahead and take a look at those talents again. And of course, we didn't get the 20s out of Reborn Knights. Just didn't quite get there. Map pick and Volskaya. So Reborn electing now to take us to Volskaya for our next map. That is the blue team. Update that. Good deal. You know when ready. Alrighty then. So again, we did see some changes to the talents for Rexar, for Imperius, for Deckard, even a little bit for Nubrak. But overall, you know, these heroes were largely untouched. The main difference, I think, was Bird of Prey, and of course the boost in healing that you see out of the potions. You make it. The boost of healing out of these potions, and those Deckard roots. You know, in all seriousness, I'm surprised he didn't just go for the root quest, because he was hitting those roots left and right. The stay-a-whiles were hitting 4 people, 5 people, because even though these ETC moshes were being interrupted, he still managed to get them close enough together to get that stay-a-while value. And we will be back in just a moment. I'm going to send you over to our Patreon. We have a Patreon because we'd like to continue to do things with NGS. So if you'd like to participate in that, check this out. Alrighty, so once again, the first game going over to arrogant Nephalem. With that, Reborn Knights has elected to take map pick, and they have selected Volskaya Foundry. Let's take a quick look at chat, see what we got going on over here. Great counter moshes. I completely agree, Milk Ducks. A noob completely owned DTC. That is, I agree. That was a great first pick for them. They did it well. Let's see if you can force Knights onto ETC. I think they're in good shape. Fair enough. What else we got up here? Kale gets 20. You can play super safe. Yeah, that flamethrower talent is absolutely disgusting for Kael'thas. He just gains so much value. And Knight, I hope you were able to work out the sound issues. I'm not really sure. It seems like other people aren't having it, but you know, we're all friends here. We want you to have a positive, enjoyable experience. Let's see here. Give you a chance to look at what's going on around the Nexus. So a couple of games coming up here in the near future. Tomorrow, Regen Blue and Wholesome Halfwits. Regen Blue looking to increase their standings in the in B West as well. Cat Peach is going to be casting as well tomorrow in the evening. Dread Pirates and Gimme the D Shield. That should be quite an exciting game. Oh, look, that's the game we're currently casting. Well, I guess it's not upcoming anymore. We do have a lot of games coming up tomorrow, though. Pretty much, if there's anything that you want to see, it's available tomorrow. And let's go ahead and get into this draft for game number 2 on Volskaya Foundry. Alrighty, Volskaya Foundry. The place where the bot lane crushes dreams. We have, once again, Ana ban. Not a big surprise there. Ana still being quite the powerhouse. I need to set up my thing for this, too. There we go. Maiev. You know what? Maiev was a significant factor in that game. She really brought a lot of plays. And there goes the rage from Munkus. Let's see, Maiev and Ana. I'll be interested to see if Anubarak makes it through this ban, because I feel like he was just an absolute menace against Reborn. Rexar being banned out, didn't really see a ton of value out of that, but it does. He can provide some value with the Misha just staying on that point, and she can be fairly difficult to kill. Everything is Mecha Rhaegar. Oh, that's unfortunate. And there goes the Anubarak. Kind of figured we would see that going away, especially with them having first pick. I think Stukov was banned. I don't remember who the other ban was in that third round. I should have written that down. And Kaim coming back on the Kael'thas. The Kael'thas value that game was pretty significant. He managed to get a lot of living bombs. There was a lot of spread. And if nothing else, even if you don't spread the bomb, just the fact that you might spread the bomb causes everybody to just scatter. And running a wave to prevent that additional damage to the team. And it can be significant. One person spreads it to 4 people and you have a bad day. Jaina and Garrosh coming in. Garrosh is a tank that I have to say, probably one of my favorite tanks, if not my favorite. I like his potential for displacement. He can isolate heroes thanks to his Wrecking Ball talent, and he carries a big axe. And Johanna and Raynor coming out together for the Arrogant Nephalem. Rise went Jaina. So we're changing from Alarak to Jaina for Rise. A little bit of a difference there. Munkus going from Maiev to Raynor. Quite a different style of play. Tyrande being banned out. Tyrande, pretty solid healer. She's got a lot of variety in those level 7 talents, whether she's got the reduced cooldown on her heals, whether she's got the spell armor or the cleanse talent. I expect they probably were looking at her overall healing and cleanse talent as value, but her trait is significant too, and preventing the I'm sorry, not preventing, but adding the negative armor. I'm somewhat expecting to see, I don't know, I was thinking an Ana maybe. No, Ana's banned. What am I thinking? Clearly it's late. What am I talking about? Zeratul coming out for Danebo and stock with the Stukov. Let me super bad if I die in single digits here. Well, fair enough, Kaim. Danebo. Zeratul. And the Morales again. Morales and Imperius, so they did really well with that in the last round. Now, Zeratul going to provide a little bit more threat to that Morales, so we'll see how that turns out. Let's see, Imperius, Kael'thas, Morales, Raynor, and Johanna. Make sure everybody's still on the same things that they were on before. Yes, they are. Good deal. And the last hero for Staymop. Varian. Interesting. So what flavor of Varian are we going to see tonight? Into a double tank. They do have a blind. They don't have a ton of CC, but they do have enough. So we might see a Colossus Smash. Uh-oh. Somebody swap? Oh, yes they did. Good thing they said that. Varian. There. Spiritul there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into game number 2 on Volskaya Foundry between Reborn Knights and Arrogant Nephalem. I have to say, I kind of like the Arrogant Nephalem comp a little bit better. The Zeratul's just such a wild card, though. I think that he could really carry this match for them if he gets a chance to do so. So we'll see how that turns out. Alrighty then. In the blue trunks, we have Reborn Knights red. Kind of confusing. Maybe they should have been on the red side. Whatever. We have Staymop on the Zeratul, Danebo on Varian, Rise on, I believe, the Jaina, Stalk on the Stukov, and Ninja on Garrosh. Reborn Knights red, ladies and gentlemen. And on the right, we have Arrogant Nephalem, the red team. Segatai is on the Johanna, Kaim on the Kael'thas again, Monkus on Raynor, Saris on the Morales, and Kavel at rest on the Darius. The Volskaya Foundry, generally speaking, you're going to want to get these camps, these fortification camps, as often as possible. They give a big boost to XP. They provide you, in a sense, a portion of another member worth of damage. Johanna's going to go in and just kind of pull people together, just remind her that she can do whatever she wants and walk away from it. And Garrosh will throw her away. Get working on his Q quest, I assume. Oh no, he interestingly enough took the Wrecking Ball upgrade, Unrivaled Strength, so it's a little bit more damage and more range. Not a talent you tend to see all that often, so I'll be interested to see how that goes. The mana increase on Garrosh's Q did go up slightly, as he will throw Johanna back into that fort. And just as a reminder, Into the Fray is no longer banned on this map, so they can pick Into the Fray here. Alrighty, so Zeratul's coming down. He's gonna pay attention and wait for Nephalem to come get this camp. They were very, very solid on their camp pickups last match. And here comes Zeratul. They see him, but he just wants them to know that he's right here. And he is a threat to that Raynor already. He's at half health, so he could very easily just walk in and kill Raynor. But the rest of the Nephalem will show up and prevent that from happening. Laws of Hope coming out of Johanna, that extra little bit of healing. Kael'thas with the Mana Addict, no big surprise there, ace in the hole for Raynor. And Arrogant Nephalem will come up and work on this support camp. Support camp is absolutely huge in team fights. It gives you a 40% boost to healing and mana, 40% of your total health and mana in a large AoE radius. That is practically like having another support. Indomitable, and it is going to be a C-Smash Varian, so we're going to hear all kinds of screaming out of Varian tonight. And Jane electing to go in that increased range. She doesn't want to be anywhere near that Garrosh. Similar build from Morales, it looks like. And the cleave build coming out of Zeratul. This would still go with HKQ. Toss on to Johanna, but she's going to go ahead and Indomitable's Garrosh. She's going to D her way out. That's what we're going to go with tonight. As the Siege Camp will be picked up here by Reborn. They want to be on top of their macro play. These Siege Camps don't do hardly anything in this match, in this map, rather. You know, in the amount of time it takes for the teams to get this point, they will barely make it past the halfway mark. But it's greater than 0. It does get a little bit of push, and whoever gets his first protector is going to want to get push on that wall. So either way, that's going to provide them a little bit of value, if nothing else, just to make sure that they've got a wave there. Johanna's going to get thrown out by Garrosh, and he's going to take some free damage from the Kael'thas Living Bomb as we're past the halfway point for Arrogant Nephalem. And Garrosh, once again, just walking in, just reminding everybody he's here. He can get his Bloodthirst damage and heal up a little bit. Currently, Zeratul down below got a little bit of soak, so they're just slightly ahead in the soak, but they got to come in on this now. C-Smash will go out on the Raynor, but down goes the Biotic Emitter. They do have a turret, but he hasn't dropped it yet. Garrosh is going to catch the Living Bomb in the Gravity Lapse, as he's got to walk away. The turret does eventually go down, but unfortunately it's just too late to provide any real value. Gotta remember those items, Reborn. You get them early and make use of them when you start that fight. Can't wait until the end. Varian does get some damage on the Protector quickly with that Colossus Smash, the negative 25 armor total. And since the Protector has 10 to begin with that second player, it just goes down 15. The one potential value out of this Protector going over is that they're really easy to stack off of. But Varian does get rooted and lasered and punched, but Stukov will get that burst heal. Over goes the Imperius. He is probably going to go down here, as he does thanks to those towers in the keep. Varian almost dying just to the damage that Imperius and the Protector were providing. And now the Living Bomb goes out on 2 members, and the Protect, unfortunately, not online for Danebo until level 10. But he did use that just to parry. And there goes the Protector. So they will get this full wall. He will throw over Raynor. There's nothing to finish that job, though. But we'll get a little bit of damage, and the Nephalem will show up to help get that Raynor out. Zeratul scouting out here in the middle, just keeping an eye on what's going on, making sure that he can report back to his team, and also jump in with those quick cleaves and get away with his wormhole. I gotta say, that sounded almost a little bit dirty, but maybe it's just because it's almost midnight. Arrogant Nephalem will come over to get their fortification camp, as Reborn will as well. And as you can see, very little damage from this camp up top was achieved, but it is a little bit of damage, and the wave was pushed back at least, so they did have that value. The towers were shooting on that Protector as soon as it showed up. Probably helped to get it down a little bit sooner than it would have otherwise. And the support camp is back available. Arrogant Nephalem is looking to post up here. And Morales was, oh man, Garrosh, that was just a second too early. If only a little bit later you would have had that Morales and she would be sitting in the graveyard, but got a little bit over eager there. As Reborn's going to go ahead and pick up the support camp now that they have their 10s. The Zeratul going in with the full Void Prison on 3 members, Johanna being the only one out, as Garrosh will get the 2-man taunt onto the Raynor and I believe Kael'thas, yeah, the mage. They'll throw Johanna out of the way as they're going to try to catch this Raynor. They will. That turret goes down, but it will be picked up by Morales, so they don't lose it. But it does cost them the Raynor. Quick view on these heroic talents as Arrogant Nephalem looks to defend their wall here. We did get the Water Elemental. Somewhat surprising, just because of the Void Prison pickup. Kind of would have expected the Void Ring combo. Garrosh does get the throw on Johanna rather, but she will make her D happen and walk away from the Varian Scream. Rest of these talents, we have the Warlord's Challenge coming out of the Garrosh, the Shield Wall, and of course the Massive Shove coming from Stukov. And for the Arrogant Nephalem, while Reborn Knights is going to go ahead and come over here and grab their Siege Camp, Arrogant Nephalem will get ready to get on this point. They've got the Blessed Shield, the Phoenix, Raynor's Raider, the Stim Drone, and once again the Angelic Armaments. That Stim Drone probably going to provide a little bit more value this game than last game, where it was used, you know, on the Anubrak and some, I think maybe once or twice on some other heroes. Not a lot of the significant auto attack value, mostly just the pressure of the movement speed. But the stim drone on the Raynor is going to provide some extremely powerful auto attack damage, as Reborn is electing to come down here and get both of these turrets, which is a very, very good call for them. You can slow play this position pretty well and walk into it. This is maybe one of the harder positions to walk into, just because there are such limited areas to come in. You've got the one choke point, or the open area where, of course, everybody is standing. Now Raynor's sitting on the point. He's got to get out of there because he's the only one left. And 80% achieved for Arrogant Nephalem. Alrighty. Oh, the dodge, the Indomitable, prevents the gravity lapse onto the Garrosh. That could have been a bit of a challenge if he had missed that. But it sounded like I heard the Blessed Shield go up, but that didn't. 13 now online for Reborn Knights, as they will select these talents. We do see the Shattering Throw, which will help them against the Johanna D, as well as those Angelic Armaments. Clearing the waves, Jaina's sole responsibility in this game, pretty much. And the support camp did just come back. Almost looked like it teleported into the screen there. Beam me up, Scotty. And Garrosh will get the throw. Now we'll see if this goes down. It instantly deleted that shield. The Void Prison on the Morales, preventing any healing going out on Johanna. But it is going to be Zeratul that goes down. They were just too deep on that fort. And it looks like Varian is also going to go down. And he potentially, I believe, just lost that turret. It looks like he did. And then the other team picked it up. But they did manage to score the Protector, so they've got Garrosh and Stukov in there, and Jaina's going to go ahead and hide around behind because she's down 2 members. She has no frontline, she has no healing. And so this is just going to be a relatively easy clear on behalf of Arrogant Nephalem. The Stim Drone going out on Raynor to give him that big boost of auto attack damage. And you can see, even though they're coming down here, trying to open up whatever they can out of this bot lane, the Protector's already at 37%. They're not going to get a lot of value out of this. They'll get some minor damage, and they're going to have to come back later to see if they can get anything. But with this Protector going down, this is an opportunity for them to get some damage on this team, as Stukov will get thrown away with the Into the Fray, so that he can survive, and no real significant damage onto the Garrosh from that point. Alrighty. And as noted, Johanna is she is impossible to get off of this point. Between her Laws of Hope self-healing, her, somebody in chat, remind me the name of what her D is. I know that I know this. I play her all the time. I just can't think of it. But anyways, her D makes it very difficult to get her off a point. And the amount of damage coming out of Arrogant Nephalem with the Kael'thas, with the Raynor, by the time you even get through Johanna's shield, which is only one Shattering Throw, by the way, it's one click, but by the time you've done that, you've taken so much damage just to get there. Varian gonna charge in on the Raynor. The VP's gonna go out on 2 members of Arrogant Nephalem. The taunt coming out gets 2 of them and does take out the Raynor, does finish that job. Garrosh is super low, so he's got to back away, and Zeratul as well. Varian does get the Protect, so he prevents any significant damage coming out of them. That is a 1-0 trade in favor of Reborn Knights. Well done on that. Good catch on that Raynor on behalf of Varian. And now they will go ahead and take this support camp with their level advantage and their one-man power play, as it were. And the flip onto the Imperius, he'll get thrown in. He is going to get some damage on him. He's going to charge his way out of the melee. Varian's going to charge in. Angelic Armament's going to get deleted by Varian, but he's going to walk away with 150 health, as the fort will save him. Johanna's coming back in, potentially trying to start this fight. Down a man. I'm not sure that's the best idea for them. But they will manage to pull back and work on their siege camp. Zeratul, though, keeping an eye on this. He knows they're over there. He can see those spell effects. And we've got a 4 versus 5 in the other direction, with Jaina being pretty far away, so she can't do much here. They don't really know that Zeratil's there, though. He's invisible well before this. So 16 is online. What do we have? We've got the... What is that? The negative armor. So a little bit of... I don't know. The negative armor doesn't stack, and you've already got a Colossus Smash Varian. So your blow-up potential doesn't really increase with that. I think I probably would have gone with the root. You do get the armor out of the Varian. You get the increased value out of your Wrecking Ball with the stun. Johanna does scout out that Zeratul, gets him blinded as Reborn Knights is going to come in an aggressive camp. This could be a challenge for them. There goes the Biotic Emitter to keep him healed. Taunt goes out on the Imperius because they're just getting so much damage. Johanna gets the Blessed Shield onto all 3 of the front line of Reborn Knights, and Imperius is going to go down in that fight, followed shortly by Johanna. Raynor finishes the job on the Zeratul, but now Varian in trouble with the Living Bomb, spreading it to his team. Oh my goodness, you gotta watch out, buddy. So a 2-for-1 trade on that one, but that's all of their front line, with this level 16 being picked up now by Arrogant Nephalem. They don't have anybody that can really just be up in front, and that's a dangerous place to be with a Garrosh and a Varian. And right at the beginning of this match, I said the bot lane is the death zone, and this is absolutely the most crushing place to try to take a fight. The conveyor belts cause so much chaos that it's very easy to throw a fight here. And Jaina scaring off the 2v1 with the Raynor and Morales, but they just don't know who else might be coming as the Garrosh and Stukov do rotate up. And it is all 5 members now of Arrogant Nephalem coming down to get in on this this bot lane, this bot control point. And they do have that camp up in the top lane, so we'll see in about 12 minutes when that takes out that top fort how much value they get out of it. And up to 80%, they gotta get in on this point at some point in the near future here if they want to contest this. If they don't want to contest it, why are they here? So Varian does get the Colossus Smash onto Imperius, but it does absolutely nothing with the Morales heals. Zeratul comes in, but he's taking damage from the Phoenix as he will die after his Void Prison, and that is just the kill they needed to get onto this point. So now, where do they go? There goes that fort, so that camp did get just enough value to get that down. And they will push in now this bot lane fort, which is going to give them an easy push up to this keep wall. Zeratul will be back up by then. They may even be able to come back in and give this a challenge. They will have this Biotic Emitter, so if they're going to do it, this is the time to do it when Zeratul gets up. So 10 seconds, 30%. I don't think they've got enough time. I don't think they can get there with all 5 members. They won't be able to do that. So Varian's going to clear top lane. They seem to agree. Garrosh is coming down here, just getting set up for the control point. He knows they're going to get the Protector, so just wants to see if he can catch anybody out. But Arrogant Nephalem has not been allowing that. They've been pretty solid about not getting individual picks on literally anybody but Johanna. And in the backline, here comes Zeratul. He does not have a VP for another 20 seconds, so he's got to be very careful with his positioning on here. The Raynor does receive the Stim Drone. Varian got a Colossus Smash on the Protector, but didn't really get any value out of it. With the Raynor just chunking down on Danebo on the Varian, the Protect will prevent him from getting punched by the Protector. There goes the Biotic Emitter. It's just barely going to get missed by the laser as Garrosh is getting destroyed by this Punisher. It's just giving him so much damage. The Protector's almost... Well, it is dead. Here comes that VP I mentioned with 3 people getting in it, and a 3-man taunt will take the Kael'thas off the map and bring Imperius down to half as well. Zeratul popping back, getting his cleaves onto these multiple members, getting those resets, as he's now going to finish the job on Morales after they also finished Imperius. Johanna in the back, she's just left over. There's nothing she can do to get away at this point. And Raynor will ultimately make it back as 20s are picked up now by Reborn Knights Red. They are not done with this game. They are still coming to play. They've got to get some structure value out of this, though. The next control point being in the middle. They can't just spend all their time on camps. They've got to get these structures down. So we do see the spell damage equaling to healing for Zeratul, the upgraded Water Elemental, the upgraded Taunt, the upgraded Colossus Smash. Now that's even more of an anti-synergy with Jaina's level 16 and the top off. So while the heal over time is on a player at a above 60%, they are going to get a little bit more healing out of that. Jaina's almost out of mana here. So they do finish this bot fort. That's really positive for them. I don't know that I would have prioritized bot with the Protector coming in the mid lane, but, you know, whatever. It's value. They got something down. They got catapults coming in that lane occasionally now. So they're making something happen. And here comes 20 now. We've got the Indestructible coming out of Johanna, the Execute out of Raynor. Once again, that Flamethrower from Kael'thas, the upgraded Stim Drone for Morales, and the upgraded Angelic Armaments for Imperius. So we'll see if we get any significant value out of that Angelic Armaments in this game. I don't think we saw a lot of it last game just because there wasn't ever really a point for it. They got to 20 and then won the game. But this game at 20 and 20 has been pretty even, although most of the kills have come from Reborn. The potential for blow up has been there. So with this shield being able to go out on every member of Nephalem, they should be able to prevent some of that big AoE damage that's been coming out and just chunking them all to half in about 1.5 seconds, or is it 2 seconds? 2 seconds for the Warlord's Challenge. Imperius is going to get caught by the Garrosh, but he will get booped away by the Morales grenade. And they're going to go ahead and head up and deal with that top camp up here. They just want to clear this out. They'll come back onto the point after Reborn gets a little bit of time, a little bit of presence on this. Item update: 2 turrets for Reborn, 1 support camp for Arrogant Nephalem. Tough call as to which team has the advantage with that. Looks like Nephalem are trying to move forward here. Maybe convince them to drop a turret at the very least. Get them to use some of those items. There goes the first turret, the VP on the back line. And here comes this big taunt. Right now, gets 2 members of the Nephalem. Down goes Kael'thas. Down goes Varian by the Raynor, as Raynor is just stim droned and keeping himself healed up. Johanna's going to go in with the Indestructible, popping, but she will get stunned, and it is a 1-for-2 trade in favor of Reborn Knights with their 2 turrets. I'm sorry, both used, and yeah, they did use the biotic emitter. That's how the Raynor stayed alive, was between the biotic emitter, the Morales healing, and then of course the his own Inspire. I think that's right. Nah, it's not that. The other talent that he's got. So with this Protector, this 22-minute Protector, they are going bot lane that they cleaned out earlier. They are going to get the massive shove onto Johanna. And there's no real significant damage other than Imperius's level 1 talent to get anything on this Protector. That bottom keep will go down. That is the first keep, followed by the second keep of the game on the other side, as Morales will get chunked down and destroyed by that Protector. Everybody else is up for Arrogant Nephalem. They've got to make something happen with this Protector, as it will go down, but it's still a 4v4. Jaina does a lot of damage, but the Blessed Shield will come out on Jaina. She's going to get pulled in by the Condemn, and she will go down thanks to that Kael'thas. And Living Bomb on the Garrosh will finish the job there as well. This could be a very big problem for Reborn, as now their front line has been destroyed. Imperius is going to catch Stukov. If Stukov goes down here, this is probably game. Oh my goodness. They've got a Rainer. They have lots of health. They're all full health, and all they've got is a VP and a Varian Smash. So if they're relatively careful, they can walk over and finish this core, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. This could be the end of the game and the match, ladies and gentlemen. Imperius is fairly low on mana, but he's not going to be looking to do much with that. He's going to want to protect the Rainer in the backline, which he does do. He's going to get that Inspire off to keep him alive, and Varian going off the map, just getting punted off the side, and the core focusing its damage in on Imperius. Imperius keeping away from the other damage dealers on the team so that it doesn't get spread, since it does do a cleave effect. The VP will go out on the core, and there goes the Rainer thanks to Jaina. She will finish that job with her Water Elemental. The core's at 50%. Garrosh will get a 3-man stun with his Wrecking Ball. Imperius is going to go down to the Jaina as well with the Zeratul assistance. Morales just showed up here, and Destructible is going to be popped by Jaina, and this could be the exact opposite of what they wanted. 37% on their core, but there are catapults punting onto the core in the top lane. 14%. They are just barely going to save the core. And now Morales and Kael'thas are the only thing standing in between Reborn and their core for another 20 seconds on Rainer. I think they're safe. Maybe. It's still 4 people over here. Let's see what we got. Sorry, I should have moved that sooner. I was so focused on the minimap. They do pick up this turret. Oh, I love seeing the chat. Oh my goodness. You guys are just catching up to what just happened, and it's so glorious. So it looks like they are making the safe play. They're coming to get the turret. They're coming to get the support camp. Zeratul knows that he can shark in with a 2v1, but I don't know about a 3v1. That would be a really questionable call for him, as the rest of his team will show up. And they have to watch this. Their core now has 2 catapults getting some damage on here. Somebody's got to go back to clear this. It doesn't have a lot of health. Those catapults now are immense pressure, and they do lose more of the core. They went from 13 to 9%. And they have all of the team up. There's no shield. They almost could have walked in on the core to finish that game. Oh my goodness, but they are going to come onto this top camp. They have no items. Reborn has a support camp. They have a turret as well. And they do have the advantage bot lane right now, just slightly pushing on the opposite side. So they are somewhat safe for their catapults at this point. This protector is going to determine who wins this game. And right now, 65% of that protector going over to Arrogant Nephalem. Reborn has got to get in and make something happen. They're going to try on the Johanna in the backline. The VP is going to go out on the Kael'thas by himself. Garrosh is looking to get a big taunt. He does get it on the Kael'thas. There's not a ton of follow-up. Varian's going to go diving in, proc the Indestructible. The Protector does come out in favor of Arrogant Nephalem. The throw away from the Morales, probably not the target he wanted. But Varian, they've got to get this Protector down. It is already at 60%. They're burning it as quickly as they can. Living Bomb onto the Varian as he gets punched by the Protector. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that big damage boost, but now it does, and it has the 10 armor. There goes the damage onto Morales. Morales goes down. She is not going to be here for the rest of this fight. The Protector is at 10% going down, as they will finish the job on the Garrosh, and the Varian followed up immediately after. Jane is going to finish the Protector, but it's 3 versus 4. They have no front line whatsoever. The best thing they've got is a massive shove, which was used to no effect. Zeratul going in, getting whatever damage he can on the Rainer. He does manage to take out Rainer. They just have the 2 tanks, and Kael'thas has the Water Elemental chasing him down. He's under half health. He could very well die just to the Water Elemental. Zeratul getting damage onto the Johanna, misses the Blessed Shield, and she will go down. Kael'thas has no health. He cannot stay in this fight. Imperius has to get away from the Stukov. What is happening? This looked like it was going to be the game in favor of Arrogant Nephalem, and they just obliterated the Protector and finished the job on the team. That kill, that Zeratul kill on the Morales, just carrying this team back into this game. Wow! What's going on? Let's look at these talents. I can't remember if I showed you guys these things. I think I did. I did. That was a few minutes ago. Level 24 to 24. We've got a turret camp in favor of Reborn Knights. We've got another turret camp, and we have a support camp. But now, 4 out of 5 members coming up for Arrogant Nephalem, looking to get their siege camp going again. They need to get this pressure going in these opposite lanes. Support camp looks like it'll be easily picked up by Reborn. And once again, that's going to give them a bit of an advantage in this next team fight. And this next team fight, once again, is in that bot lane. Get in, right? Getting the Protector. Get in the chopper. And now Reborn's going to go ahead and come up, pick up their top lane siege camp to counter, once again, the top siege from Arrogant Nephalem. Now, they do have a little bit of a disadvantage there because they don't have catapults in that lane. And, Arrogant Nephalem does. So all of the pressure in that top lane is going straight over to Arrogant Nephalem, as they're now going to come up here, clean up this camp, and they are followed very closely behind by Reborn. This right here, if this is the fight, if this is the time they choose to take this fight, this is the game. This has to be the game. Garrosh is going to get the stun on Imperius, but he's going to miss his throw. The VP goes out on the Morales, and I believe the Raynor, he does get a cleave in there, but no taunts yet. The pull back in as the biotic emitter goes down, and Garrosh gets destroyed in this match. Raynor just doing massive amounts of damage. Jaina is caught entirely on an island, and she's going to get destroyed. Varian is so low, Stukov will get some healing on him, but he's going to get caught by the Imperius, and now Arrogant Nephalem is walking to the core with only a Zeratul and a Stukov to stop them. Zeratul hearthing to get as much health and mana as he can get, because it's on his shoulders to somehow kill this entire enemy team before 10% can happen. Raynor's going to get pushed away. Stukov takes another hit, and Zeratul is going to go ahead and save his KDA. He says GG to Arrogant Nephalem. Holy cow, what a game! That was insane. That was everybody had a chance to win that game at different points. But Nephalem, they just kept the pressure up, kept it going, and ultimately get the 2-0 victory over Reborn Knights Red. Congratulations to you. You guys played that match absolutely wonderfully. And let's see who we can get in to come chat with us. Let's see. You know what? I don't even know. I don't remember who the captain is for Nephalem. Interview? Let's hop over to that NGS Discord, see if we can get into a lobby. And see who we can get to chat with us tonight. Hopefully somebody wants to come in and chat with us. That was so exciting of a game. I want to hear something. I want people to talk to me. I'm not feeling good. I gotta feel good. And it looks like Munkus is gonna join us. So you do see our stats here. Sorry, I was blocking some of those. And I'll go ahead and flip over to those talents. Not that we didn't see those 3 times. Munkus, welcome to the chat, my friend.
Hello. How are you?
Dude, that match was so absolutely crazy.
Oh my god, we were flipping out the whole time. It was crazy. Like, comms were blowing up. I called us to go back on the bottom push. I didn't realize the top had pushed in as well, and that if we had saved, we might have won. And like, I thought we might have thrown away the game there, but we just got a really good engaged top. I cannot believe it ended like that.
Well, that makes two of us. That was back and forth, back and forth. The top catapults. I watched as you guys were disengaging the bot lane. Those catapults were coming in the top lane, and I was like, oh my god, somebody's got to go back. And then it happened again. They got you got the core down again from 13 to 9%. And maybe even at that point you could have maybe gone in because there was no shield instead of that protector. But that protector in the top lane, what was the conversation like at that moment?
Well, I got shoved off of the protector, and I was the only one near it. I got in it, and then as I was walking down, I realized that the protector was at like 50% health. And then I went back to get a gunner because I realized at that point I hadn't picked up a gunner. And then we got some kills. I was like, and I was thinking in my head, yes, we can do this. Then we popped out, and then we got Zero deleted. And I think there were a lot of sighs and saying, you gotta watch the protector, you gotta watch the Zero position. Zero is very hard to play against.
Zero was an absolute monster in that game. He did a lot of carrying, I think, in that match, or in that game specifically. That kill on the Morales that really, I mean, that prevented you guys from ending the game the first time, I think.
Yeah.
And really kept them in the match. And then, of course, they turned it around and they had 4 people on. When that happened, did you think you lost the game?
I did. The rest of the team did. Or most of them did. I thought that I would get back up in time and that I would have stim pack and I'd be able to destroy the protector. That's what I was thinking. And we were able to kill them just in time. And I think we got we killed 2 or 3 of them at that point, but Morales was dead.
Right. Yep. Exactly. And there were a lot of those fights where the VP combo with the Garrosh taunt, and then somebody dies, right? Before that taunt's even done, you died, or Morales died, or in some cases Imperius died. Johanna died a couple times with that shattering throw. They had a really good combo. I'm a bit surprised they didn't go with the ring, and they had a little bit of anti-synergy with their level 16 Jaina talent taking the armor reduction along with the Master at Arms Colossus Smash spread. So I think they lost some value out of that.
Yeah, we were wondering about the ring too, but the water elemental did get them a lot of value with Wintermute. I think that forced Kime to back off completely at the end because he was going to die from the Wintermute.
Yes.
So, I do think it was anti-synergy, but also that kept them in the game. And yeah, they might have just forgotten about the fact that negative armor buffs don't stack. I do.
And that's entirely possible. And of course, Into the Fray was not banned. That was released today, so that gave them a little bit of flexibility as well. So game 1. So you guys, I don't recall who. I think they won the flip, right? And they elected map pick. Is that correct? Do you know?
They won the flip, and they elected map pick both times.
And so, in general, would that have been something you guys would have preferred to take a map over first pick, or is that something that you generally would have preferred is getting that first pick?
I can't speak for the rest of my team, but I think that first pick is more valuable in most situations because you get an extra hero before the second man. Unless you're going for something really sneaky in the last slot, I think first pick is more important.
Sure. And so that game 1, in all seriousness, I was 100% surprised that the Anubarak was let through. And of course, you guys snap picked it, and then they picked the ETC. What during your draft, was there any conversation? Was there excitement when they picked ETC? Because you guys, your tank players, Segatai,
yes,
100% on point with those cocoons. He was a cocoon god that game, and it was amazing to watch. So tell me about that.
Okay. I noticed every time that they did the mosh pit, he did the cocoon. I gave him props. He deserves mad props for that because literally every mosh pit was cocooned. I think maybe Saris got one grenade off to stop one, but every other time it was, you heard 2 notes from mosh pit, and then he's
100% true. Yeah. And I think there was one grenade, like you said, but that grenade actually interrupted the mosh pit into the cocoon. So, okay, sure, whatever.
I thought it was a little questionable of a choice because we had Grenade, we had Kalphos, and we had Anubarak. We had, unless you caught 3 people in the mosh pit, I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, you really have to. I enjoy playing ETC, and I don't care. I'll pick him into a team with 5 counters. I don't give a crap. But you really have to pay attention and know who those counters are and what their timing is. And if you don't, you end up with a web every time, right? A cocoon every time.
Right. ETC is also just really strong right now in general. Like that ETC allowed us to have just total map control. Like we were never really afraid to take fights because we always knew that. Well, except when Kime just decided that he wanted to die. Can't stop that from happening.
which happened a few times, but we won't give him too much crap about that. After all, single digits, right?
Right, single digits, and we like to think that he was baiting the trap for them to enter, and the jaws snapped shut, and they were in our clutch.
Exactly. If only he was Orphea, and it could have been real jaws, that would have been even better.
Right, well, then it's too obvious. And they know what's going to happen. With the Kalphos, they don't know what's happening until it's too late.
Fair enough. And I do want to point out Kalphos's bombs, his damage, did really well. A lot of zoning with the living bombs, forcing the team to run away from each other, and there were a lot of times that they just couldn't avoid it. You just got free damage because that Varian walking down the choke in Volskaya, or the damage hitting onto multiple people in Infernal Shrines, causing them to have to back out because now suddenly they're at 2/3. You guys did a really great job. I can't say a whole lot about Morales only because of the fact that she did her job. Right?
You can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, and Morales doesn't do a lot of things that are flashy, but you had some really fantastic charges from Imperius both games. The Maiev play, the Warden's cages, it looked like a freaking ping pong table in there with those Warden's cages in game 1. I have no real criticisms other than you forgot to finish the game a little bit earlier.
In game 1?
Game 2.
Oh, game 2. Yeah.
31-minute game almost.
Oh, yeah, 30-49. Goodness gracious. Well, we won the first game pretty well, and so we just decided to slow a roll the second.
Fair enough. Well, listen, I don't... you know what, I'm going to ask you one more question. I like to ask people one question across the board here, which is, what is your favorite hero to play? Not necessarily your best hero, but the one you enjoy playing the most.
Oh god, that's a hard one. Probably Abathur.
Fair enough.
Yeah, he's been... I have 420 games on him. He's just my favorite hero in general.
I have 420 games. I would say that probably qualifies. Well, great job, Munkus. Are you the captain of the team?
I am not. I am a sub, actually. Our captain couldn't make it tonight.
Ah, fair enough. Well, that's fantastic that you got the opportunity to both play, shine pretty well in the matches, and get to come do an interview. So, with that being said, you have the opportunity now to have your shout-outs to whoever you want to shout out to.
Well, I'd like to thank the other team for coming tonight, because it was 2 fun games. Shout-outs to the rest of my team, including Trabe, Dekilladin, and everybody else who couldn't be here tonight. I know Antaeus couldn't, Null Pointer. Antaeus might have been able to come. I don't know. But to all the guys who couldn't be here, thanks for the opportunity to play. And great job, team. Let's win the tournament.
Fair enough. And I want to say thank you to you guys, as well as to Reborn Knights Red, for starting just a few minutes after your start time and accommodating my schedule to do so. It was an absolute pleasure to cast both of these teams in this map tonight. And enjoy your evening. Go revel in bask in the glory of your 2-0 victory.
Thank you. We shall.
Excellent. Alrighty. that is the end of this match in Div B West, with the final. Did I update that? Yeah, I did. With the final maps, both of the wins going over to Arrogant Nephalem, selected by the Reborn Knights red team, and picking up the 2-0 domination. That, for them in these standings, is going to put them up to 15 points. That puts them just once again ahead of Regen Blue. Now, Regen Blue, of course, has a game tomorrow, so we'll see if they can maintain that lead or if Regen Blue can make it back. And I believe that all the games are done for them, so they'll be in that 7th or 8th spot, it looks like. My name's Arrow. It's late. I'm going to go to bed. You all have a wonderful night, and thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. I'll be casting, my next casts will be, I may very well pick one up tomorrow, so keep an eye on the schedule for that. It'll be late, 11 o'clock or so again, Eastern Time. I'm definitely casting a doubleheader on Saturday for Div D, and potentially picking up 1 or 2 as well for Div D on Sunday. So for this last week of regular season, all these teams are looking to get their games finalized, get their position finalized in the standings, and we'll be right there to see how Div D finalizes theirs. Have a wonderful night, and we'll see you in the Nexus.